Hey everyone, welcome back to Rake Tag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about talking with non-stackers about stacking physical gold and silver. Sorry, it's another hot one here in Toronto, so I do need to have the fan on. Just it's really hot in this back room. But yeah, just jumping into today's topic, I don't really talk too much to people about silver and gold because I prefer to remain anonymous. With this channel here, you'll see my hands from time to time holding up coins to the camera, but I don't have my face reveal or anything like that. Now there are some channels on YouTube that don't mind, some stacking channels that don't mind having their face up there and things like that, and that's completely up to them. But for me, I prefer just to stay behind the camera, have my hands out there a little bit, just security reasons. I don't want people knowing who I am and knowing that I have this stuff. And just outside of my immediate family, nobody knows that I stack. Nobody knows that I have this channel, and that's the way that I prefer to keep it. But for some, like I said, those channels that do show their face, and for other people that don't have channels but do like picking up silver and gold, I find that I see some questions and things like that about how do I bring up stacking silver and gold to my family or this and that. Now for me, one of the main things I would avoid doing is trying to give people unsolicited advice. I find that's the worst way to try to get your message across. You got to think about say you're cooking dinner, it's 5-6 o'clock, and you get a knock on your door, and it's a Jehovah's Witness, or it's one of those energy guys trying to get your gas bill and say, oh, you're paying way too much, let me lock you into this price for 5 years. That sort of thing. You didn't ask for these people to come to your door. They're bugging you, they're annoying you when you're trying to get dinner done, and they're talking to you about something you really don't have any interest in and don't want to hear about at that time. So the best case scenario for those people is you're going to get a no thank you, and worst case, you're going to get cussed out, you're going to get the door slammed in your face. People don't like unsolicited advice. That's why you see a lot of people with no soliciting on their doors. They don't want to have people coming in them trying to convince them of something. So I wouldn't be going to work into the break room or going into like a family event or anything like that and just going up to anyone you can get an ear and just saying, hey, this is why you should be stacking silver and gold. Even if it's good advice, you know what I mean? It's good advice to say it's a hedge against inflation. It's good advice to say, this will help with wealth management. But if the person you're talking to has no interest in hearing these things, it's falling on deaf ears. Save your breath, you know what I mean? You don't need to convert everybody. Just wait for that hypothetical situation where, a coworker comes in and is like, oh, I've been reading a bunch of things online about the inflation and how it's out of control, and about how silver and gold can help with that. And the article went a little over my head. I didn't exactly know what they meant. So given that scenario, especially if you're, you don't care about the anonymity, you can go all in and just start telling them about what you've been doing, how you've been buying, and how, it is a good hedge against inflation. And you can go into all the details and all the things. So it's a good way these people came to you first, or came in and brought up the scenario, so you're not just randomly bringing it up to people that might not want to hear it. That's what I would look for. I wouldn't be looking to convert every last person that I come across. I said, especially for me, because I do like just the anonymous part. I don't like talking about it with people. Yeah, for me, that I find is the biggest roadblock with some of the people when you're talking about the physical silver and gold, is they just don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear about it, and the more you talk about it, the more that they'll push away, because that's just human nature. People don't like being told what to do. That's why my channel, you'll never hear me say, this is what you have to do and you're a dummy if you don't doing it. I always just present it in the way that I see it. I use this as a hedge against inflation and as wealth preservation. And when I'm talking about topics, I will show the topic and I'll just present it in a way where, here's the information, here's the facts. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say, because of this, you need to run out and buy 20 ounces of silver. I'll go through the reasons why stacking silver is good and stacking gold. And this isn't unsolicited advice. This is a niche channel talking about these things. So the people that are watching this because they want this information. It's a lot different than me just going into a grocery store, walking up to people and saying, hey, Do you want a good way to hedge against inflation? People don't respond to that. So I'm not looking to be like the gold silver prophet trying to convert everybody into stacking and things like that. But if it randomly or organically comes up on their end talking about silver and gold, then I would potentially talk to them about it and say, just give my 2 cents and just but as I said, for me, not talk about the gold and silver that I have in the YouTube channel. But yeah, that was just a quick video that I want to make here, because I have seen other people talking about, how do I get my friends into this, or how do I get my family into this? I wouldn't be looking to convert people out of the blue, but if you do see people showing an interest, then you can kind of jump in and maybe explain it to them a little bit more. But yeah, definitely just don't go cold calling to people, you know what I mean? Just think about it the next time where you think, how can I convince my best friend that this is the right thing? Think about it as you're going to his house and knocking on his door just before supper time and just saying, hey, just give me 2 seconds. I want to talk to you about stacking silver and gold. You know what I mean? That's just like the people coming to your door saying, hey, give me a few seconds. I'm going to save you some money on your gas bill. So like I said, with me, I'm perfectly fine just doing what I'm doing with this channel, being completely anonymous, and in my day-to-day life, not talking about silver and gold with anybody. But for those of you that do think that it's something that they should do to try and get people into silver and gold, just remember, not everybody, even if you give them the best examples in the world, some people just won't listen. They don't want to hear it. They're not interested in getting the silver and gold, and there's no change in their minds. Don't pull your hair out. Don't think that you failed this person or something like that. Don't think that it's your duty to try and get every last person in the world into silver and gold, because it isn't. You know what I mean? They have free will. They have their own choices. But like I said, if somebody happens to bring it up in conversation to me, then, if I have the information or if I have some of the knowledge they're looking for, I'll present it to them in a way that's either saying, you're right, this is what the article was saying, or you may have this slightly wrong from what I've read, this is the blub. You can go about it that way. But just jumping in and saying, stacker, you're an idiot, that's not something that people respond to. But yeah, anyways, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you're one of the people that like to try and get as many people converted over to the silver and gold. And if you find you're having a hard time convincing people, or if you find that people just aren't listening, let me know. Or if you're like me, where, obviously you see the benefit of stacking silver and gold, but you don't see the need to try and get every last person into buying silver and gold. Yeah, like I said, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.